Welcome, 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 my lovelies. This is your Popeye Queen coming at you. Now, on today, we're going to go back in time, way back. Let's have a little fun. Instead of going back to the future, we're going back to the past. Are you ready? You see, kids these days don't know how lucky they have it. Baby, back in the 60s, 70's, and 80's, our lives were a little simpler, a little stranger, and maybe even a little more wonderful. Take television, for instance. Kids today have 24/7 access to anything they want to watch: cartoons, superhero shows, and even whole seasons of their favorite series are just a few clicks away. But our TV, well, it had an off switch, and honey, it used it. Late at night, the screen would go dark, and not just temporarily, I mean permanently for that night. Picture this: it's a few minutes before midnight, and the station will play the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see? As the American flag waved on screen, looking so serious, so somber, and then poof, static. That was the end of TV until the next morning. No more entertainment until the rooster crowed for some. The early morning cartoon lineup was the only salvation for us kids. If we managed to wake up in time and if it wasn't a school day. Of course, we didn't have streaming services, but we had something just as special: a big old box TV that weighed more than a full grown cow. Changing the channel required actual movement. There was no remote control, no voice command, baby. If you wanted to switch channels, you had to get up, walk across the room, and then turn a big old dial on the TV itself. And sometimes, if you turned it too fast, you'll bypass the channel and you had to go all the way around to get to it. Or if you turned it too hard, it would break off. And you'd have to use, you have to use those pliers. Ah, the sweet scent of early American innovation. Then there were the shows. Ooh, yes, the TV shows. We had the $1 Million Man, Steve Austin. Good Times, yeah, baby. The Facts of Life. The Jeffersons with George doing his funny dance. Fantasy Island, the plane. Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman. Different Strokes. Oh my God, I love that show too. The Bionic Woman. That's Nancy. And the Love Boat, the Love Boat. We also had Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown specials for the holidays. And they were an event. When a Charlie Brown special came on, you knew it was a big deal. That meant all the neighborhood kids would gather in front of whichever house had the biggest TV, and parents who didn't mind, a little extra noise, and we watch it together. You couldn't just rewind it. You couldn't record it. If you missed it, tough luck, buddy. You'd have to wait until next year. Watching It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown or a Charlie Brown Christmas was a seasonal tradition, like putting up a Christmas tree or carving a pumpkin, but much more of an adrenaline rush. Oh, baby. And on Saturday morning, we had cartoons. What a time to be alive. Saturday mornings were sacred. We'd pour ourselves a big bowl of sugary cereal, plant ourselves in front of the TV, and watch hours of our favorite cartoons, usually with the names like, Scooby Doo, the Flintstones, Looney Tunes, and the Jetsons. There's a lot of them out there. By noon, though, the cartoons would fade away and things got real serious with those, Saturday karate movies. Boy, kung fu movies were the bomb. You'd better believe we'd be out in the yard afterward pulling off our best karate moves with our friends, convinced that we could take down any bad guy. Spoiler alert, none of us ever got into a real karate fight, but we had a lot of fun pretending though. Now, let's not forget the games and the toys. We had Sorry, Checkers, Monopoly, Ouija boards. Yes, they gave us Ouija boards like it was nothing. Now I know better. Click clacks, jacks, Chinese checkers, and the list goes on and on. We didn't have video games to distract us. We had our hands, our imaginations, and some good old fashioned toys that somehow kept us entertained for hours. First, there was a yo yo. They call me yo yo. Okay, hold up. I digress. I digress. Let me get back to it. The yo yo was a true test of patience, skills, and coordination. And you had to earn those skills the hard way. It wasn't just making it up and down. Oh no, you had to go further than just going up and down. There were tricks to learn. You had to walk the dog, go around the world, or better yet, rock the baby. These moves separated the pros from the rookies. But if you messed up, that yo yo, along with those glass click clacks, could leave you with a nasty bruise. It hurt. It really did. You didn't mess around with them unless you knew what you were doing. And who could forget the slinky? It's simple. You place it at the top of the stairs, give it a little nudge, and watch it walk its way down. Sure, it was just a glorified metal spring, and that's all it was. But it was magical to see it slink down step by step. That was until, it got tangled because no slinky in the histories of slinkies ever made it more than a few days without turning into an absolute mess. Once that happened, well, you could try to untangle it, but most of us just use it as a weird bracelet after that. Mm. Marbles were another staple. We'd collect these little glass balls, trade them, and sometimes even played games with them. The beauty of marbles was that they came in all sorts of colors and patterns, each one like its own little tiny galaxy. But let's be honest, most of us spend more time trying not to lose them than actually playing the game. You could be in the middle of an intense round, and then when you're about to win, a marble would roll under the couch, never to be seen again. That's for those who played inside, but most played outside in dirt. The great marble loss was a rite of passage for every kid of that era. Then there was the trouble game with this iconic pop-o-matic. The dice in the middle. You press that plastic bubble in the center, and it would make its delightful pop as the dice tumbled, getting all your pegs around the board without getting sent back to the start by another player was exhilarating. Trouble could get cutthroat. Friendships have been lost and tears shed over that pop-o-matic bubble. And let's not forget the iconic Easy Bake Oven, baby. That was something so satisfying about mixing a little packet of powder, pouring it into a little pan, and baking up a mixture cake under the heat of a light bulb. And that smell, nothing sells childhood like the smell of a cake that's both undercooked and overcooked all at once. The Easy Bake Oven taught us patience, responsibilities, and the art of avoiding salmonella. Yeah. For outside fun, baby, ooh, we had so many to name. We had skates, big wheels, skateboards. We played regular jump rope and double dutch. What you know about tetherball or playing caroms? We played dodgeball and tag football in the streets. Boys and girls playing together. Let's not forget that hula hoop. Ha ha. And of course, we had our bikes, which were like personal little freedom machines. Back in those days, you'd leave the house after breakfast, jump on the bike, and just go. Helmets? What helmets? Our bikes are transportation, our entertainment, and our social status symbol, all rolled up into one. The more reflectors and handlebar streamers, the better, baby. We rode for hours, and somehow we always made it back before dark, like some sort of unspoken kid GPS was guiding us home. Now, for our snacks, baby, and the little foods we used to eat on, they were bomb, baby. They were bomb. We had everything from candy necklace that came with a bracelet. We had snowball cupcakes, the pink ones especially. We had hog-head cheese and crackers. Learned that from the old folks. Pickles with Kool-Aid. It was good too. Pig feet. I used to love them, but I don't eat them now. The Reggie Jackson candy bar. Chili cheese fries, Fritos, and chili cheeseburger. We had icy cup. Remember the candy lady? We had syrup, ketchup, or even sugar sandwiches. Yeah, I know it sounds disgusting, but they slap, baby. They slap. You heard? One thing is for sure. Growing up in the 60s, 70's, or even the 80's taught us to use our imaginations, baby. Use our imaginations well. Make the best of what we had and get along with each other. Let me repeat that there. That's very important. We had to get along with each other because really there was no choice. If you didn't like what was on TV, too bad. If you wanted to play a game, you better find a friend because multiplayer didn't mean online. It meant in real life. You heard? So when you think back of those years, it's not hard to feel a little bit of nostalgia for the simplicity, the creativity, and the freedom. We weren't entertained at every second, but that only made us treasure the moments we had. And maybe, just maybe, that made it all the more special. All right, my babies. I hope you enjoyed that little adventure. Back down memory lane. Stay blessed and prayed up. I'm out.